Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing good out there. So today I thought we would talk about downsizing, especially in relation to moving to the Villages. For me, it felt like a major downsize, and I mean that in a good way. Sometimes downsizing is a good thing to do where you can purge your old belongings and relics and tons of boxes you've been carrying around for 20 years, and coming here it almost forces you to get rid of those things. Previously owning homes with basements and attics and all those kind of things, we tend to have a lot of baggage. So moving to the Villages, for me, moving into this house in particular felt a little claustrophobic to me in the beginning. My last house was 5,000 square foot. This house is 1,400 square foot. And I don't say that to be bragging about my last house. I've owned several homes all over the country. And some are big, some are small. This is the smallest I've ever owned, but I have rented apartments and smaller homes and things like that before. But I'm grateful for this house, and I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. But as far as the topic of downsizing and getting rid of belongings in a house full of things, and coming down here and starting with a clean slate and keeping things simple, there's something refreshing about that. Managed to box up and preserve things that are nostalgic, that mean important family memories and things like that. Certainly preserve those, but I've tried to narrow down all that kind of stuff into 4 boxes. And those are probably 4 boxes that I'll seldom go into, but I can leave that for my son someday, and it can be his problem to go through it. I thought it'd be a cool discussion to share with you guys and to see how you feel about downsizing. When you buy a house in the Villages, you're really buying the community, you're buying the lifestyle, you're buying the sunshine. As we progress through our lives and we've had the McMansions or houses with all the stuff in it and kids running around and you needed all that room, when you get to this point in your life, and I know I don't have to tell you this, you guys know this, obviously you don't need as much space. The biggest house for sale in the Villages is smaller than the last house I owned, but costs like 5 times as much. So that's kind of strange, but I get it. It's a beautiful area. It's a great neighborhood. It's again, you're not buying the house, in my opinion. That's part of it. That's your shelter, but you're really buying into the lifestyle of the Villages and the community and the activities and the wonderful amenities and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you hear that? That's Gridley flipping his dog bowl because he's hungry, so I gotta go get him some food and then I'll be right back, all right? All right, I'm back. Where was I? You're not buying just a house, you're buying into the community. And I think where I left off at was Gridley's making a racket. Homes before was the core of all the activity, where everything took place, kids coming and going and all the good family stuff. And now, as our lives have progressed and we've downsized, you're either spouses or maybe you're by yourself, and this is the next chapter of our lives. In this case, in the Villages, the home is a place where you lay your head, but all the fun and activity is happening outside or around, unless you're having parties and that kind of thing. But there's something about the Villages that makes you want to get up, go outside, get the vitamin D from the sun, do all the activities, get on your bike and ride on the multimodal trails, or get your golf cart. And that whole thing is interesting. It takes twice as long to get anywhere with a golf cart than it does a car, if not 10 times as long, but yet it's more fun and it's fresh air. So this is a completely different atmosphere. So if when you're coming down and you're debating on moving here and you're concerned about downsizing from a nice big home with basement and tons of room, and coming down here is a bit of a shock. And it almost doesn't matter which house you buy. Even the biggest homes here are not huge. They're lovely, but I think it's more about the lifestyle than the house. And that's something I'm learning as I'm here. When I first got here, I was claustrophobic. I shouldn't say claustrophobic, but I felt, it was pretty dramatic. And I'm in this house by myself, and I feel like I still kind of wish I would have bought a 3-bedroom instead of a 2-bedroom. The guest room in this house, or the second bedroom in this house, is my office. So I really don't have a guest room. So, and this is kind of funny. I started looking houses to see, how much a similar sized house, except 3-bedroom, would cost, and maybe look at some of the newer ones. So I ended up looking at a house down in Newell today online, and put the website up here and kind of show you the comparison between that house and this house. They're almost exactly identical layout on the inside. It blew my mind that 20 years later, they're using the same plans, and I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I found it very interesting that I bought this house, and I'll tell you, I paid $319 for this house. It's 1,400 square foot. The new one down in Newell I looked at was 1,500 something square foot. Exact same floor plan, except it had a 3rd bedroom. So it was a 3-bedroom, this is a 2-bedroom. Found that pretty wild, and that one I think they were asking $365 plus about a $20,000 or $30,000 bond. I'm not 100% sure on these numbers. This is just from what I remember looking online today, so if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I found it really wild that a brand new house 20 years later is the exact same plans as this house, which is kind of cool. So the point to that is, when you come down here, I don't know if this is much about downsizing, but shop around, because you might find a very similar house for less money if you buy a pre-owned one. Although I will say, I'm considering, if I buy again, to buy a new one, because I would love to have this version of a house with, newer exterior, more updated looking. Of course, the new HVAC and appliances and warranties and roof and all that kind of good stuff that comes with it. So I am not knocking the new stuff. For the extra money, probably worth it. But I found it interesting during my downsizing or upsizing research that I stumbled across a house that I liked that was exactly like this on the inside. Quite honestly, the only thing I don't like about this house is that there's no foyer. And I might also want a swimming pool. I don't know, what do you guys think? I don't know if that's worth the money or not. There's so many swimming pools around here you can use for free, so I mean, whatever. So yeah, downsizing. That's a paradigm that you prepare yourself for when you come down here. There's no basements. The houses are Gridley. Seriously, buddy? Gridley's something else. I'd be lost with that. Come here, buddy. Come here. You okay? Love you. What do you want? I think he wants a yummy or a treat. You know what I mean? You want a treat? Okay. All right, buddy. I'm almost done. All right. I better take care of him. I'll be right back. So, as far as downsizing goes, I just rambled on about what I'm not sure. It's okay to downsize. It feels good to downsize. It feels good to get rid of the clutter. Come down here. Get rid of boxes in your basement that you haven't opened in 30 years. It's great. It's freeing in a way. Bring a few things that really matter to you. Give the rest of the junk away to your kids or whatever. But come down, enjoy yourself. A small house is easier to take care of. And they're not small. I shouldn't say small. It's not like it's a tiny house. These are nice homes. Every home here is nice. Now, I will suggest, if there's 2 of you, I would get a 3-bedroom for sure, and maybe a little bit more square footage. I'm here by myself in this house, and I feel a little claustrophobic still, but I think it's probably because I'm just not used to it. I like it. It's comfortable. It's got everything I need, so I don't know what my problem is. I'm sure I'll get over it. The only thing I might change again if I move is I might go up to a 3-bedroom, and it would be really nice to have a pool and a view and all that good stuff. Although this house, I have enough property here, I could put a pool in. I might have to do a video on that and see what you guys think. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, just to get some of that off my mind about the downsizing paradigm. And my next video's coming up. I'm probably going to do one on the outside. I want to show you guys my yard, my landscaping. I have a pretty good sized yard, and I want some feedback on some landscape ideas. Once you see what I got out there, you'll see why I want to rip some stuff out and update it, because it's a little overgrown. Some of those bushes I think are 20 years old. So I'm gonna rip some of those out. I got a dead palm tree in back I gotta rip out. I got all kinds of stuff coming up, but I'm gonna share that with you guys if you're interested. Let me know what you think. If you came from a larger home to down here in the Villages, the houses are a little closer together and smaller and less storage than maybe what you're used to, or maybe this is a you moved up to a bigger home when you got here. I'm sure that happens a lot here too. I don't know. So I'm just rambling. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening to my rant. And, thanks for subscribing and sharing and all that good stuff. And let me know your thoughts on, downsizing and anything else you guys want to talk about. Enjoy your life wherever you're at and take care of each other out there. All right, see you. Bye.